I stare at the screen, my heart pounding. The camera zooms in on my Linda Carter, Linda, sitting at our kitchen island, wineglass in hand, laughs echoing in the background. She's oblivious, completely unaware she's live to hundreds of strangers. Her laughter hits hard, but what stings more? The digital audience judging her every word, every movement. How could she not see me? My face is a mask of disbelief and hurt, reflecting off the glow of my phone. The scent of rain outside mingles with the buzz of my racing thoughts. These moments, so intimate yet public, feel like a punch to the gut. She's talking about my decisions, mockingly. She's just wandering through life, she sneers, selling houses, chasing fame, can't even hack medical training program. It's one thing to hear her in person, but to see her on this screen, that's another level. My chest tightens, the weight of loyalty and pain crashing down. How do you support a mom who doesn't even see the fight you're putting up? The camera's focus sharpens, capturing a moment that feels frozen in time, a tense silence hanging in the air. Linda Carter, my Linda Carter, sits at our kitchen island, a half-empty wine glass in her hand, her voice warm with laughter. The room hums with familiarity, until that moment. The soft clink of glass contrasts sharply with the storm brewing inside me. As I watch her unaware, I realize I'm live. Hundreds of strangers now see her, her pride, her unawareness, the way she brushes off my sacrifices like they're nothing. She's talking about my choices, mocking my struggles. She's just wandering through life, she sneers, selling houses, chasing fame, can't even finish medical training program. That's when it hits, the emotional weight, the clash of love and frustration. My face reflects the disbelief, the hurt, the betrayal. I ask myself, how do I support someone who can't see me? The room feels smaller, heavier as her laughter echoes in the background. So familiar. Yet now, so distant from the truth I carry. The scent of rain still lingered in the air as I sat quietly in the parking lot, staring at the folder in my hands. Everything felt heavier than usual. Just yesterday, I'd been pretending everything was normal, driving through the city, juggling meetings, thinking I had more time. But that video changed everything. Now, I wondered, how much of her life had she been proud of? How much did she even see? I thought about the countless nights I stayed up, fighting with insurance companies, balancing the weight of her medications, all while wrestling with my own dreams. I promised her I'd always be there. When she'd smile and say, "You're so responsible," I'd brush it off. Did she even realize how much responsibility I carried? Flashes of her laugh, her groceries, her proud little hum as she cooked. Those memories taste sweeter now. She's so unaware of how much I sacrificed to keep her safe, to hold us together. What happens when the world judges us? When her pride starts to crack? The room I'd left behind at the house wasn't just four walls. It was everything. My sacrifices, her pride, the unspoken love that held us. Even as her health wore her down, I promised her I wouldn't give up. But how do I prove that when she can't see the storm inside me? The rain, tap-tap on the windshield, feels like a mirror. Constant, relentless. She wants validation, respect. But she can't see the battles I fight every day for her. And maybe, just maybe, what she really needs isn't perfection, but to see that I'm still here. Still fighting, still loving her, even when everything feels on the edge of breaking apart. The coffee, the cafe buzzed with life, but all I could hear was the pounding of my heart. As the weight of my decision settled in, I felt a rush of adrenaline mixed with fear. Would my Linda Carter understand? Would she finally see the sacrifices I had made? The air thickened with unspoken words, and just as I was about to voice my resolve, my phone buzzed with a message from her. My breath caught in my throat. What would it say? Would it shatter my newfound strength or validate my choice? I stared at my phone, the screen glowing like a beacon of uncertainty. I thought about the countless nights I spent fighting with insurance companies, balancing her medications, all while wrestling with my own dreams. I had promised her I'd always be there. But how do I support someone who can't see me? The scent of rain lingered in the air, a reminder of the storm brewing inside me. I pulled out my phone and opened my banking app. I had been putting aside a little money each month, hoping to return to medical training program. Now, I was about to use it for exactly that. As I spoke, I transferred the funds I'd earmarked for my Linda Carter's next round of treatments into my personal savings account. The action felt monumental. "Wow," Ava Johnson whispered. "Are you sure?" "I've never been more sure of anything," I replied, surprising myself with how steady my voice sounded. I had spent 5 years being her safety net while she dismissed everything I did. That ends today. I showed Ava Johnson the acceptance letter I'd received months ago from the nursing program, the one I'd nearly deferred again because of Mom's planned treatments. "I start in the fall," I told her, "and I'm not deferring again." Ava Johnson squeezed my hand. "I'll send you the full video just in case you need it." As we parted ways, I felt the weight of years of obligation lifting for the first time. I was choosing myself. The guilt I expected to feel was nowhere to be found, replaced instead by a sense of clarity and purpose that had been missing for too long. When I called the insurance company, the representative sounded confused. "You want to remove yourself as the guarantor on Patricia Sullivan's accounts? May I ask why?" "Personal reasons," I replied, my voice remarkably steady. "I'll no longer be responsible for any payments after this month." It was day 3 of my new resolve. I had spent the weekend in a productive frenzy, calling insurance companies, updating payment information, and drafting emails. My dining room table was covered with paperwork as I systematically dismantled the financial web I had created to support my Linda Carter. "Miss Sullivan," the representative continued, "I should inform you that without your support, your Linda Carter's premium will increase substantially, and her coverage options may change." I paused, the weight of her words hanging in the air. Would my Linda Carter finally see the battles I fought every day for her? Would she understand that I was still here, still fighting, still loving her, even when everything felt on the edge of breaking apart? I sat at my kitchen island, fingers hovering over the keyboard. The truth was sitting heavy, louder than I wanted to admit. I just drafted that email, a digital hammer really, cutting ties with the support I'd been tied to for years. The words were precise, formal. But my mind kept drifting back to those moments with Mom, the laughter in that old family photo, that day we laughed so hard at the backyard barbecue. A flicker, then the screen flickers too. Suddenly, a picture pops up, an old snapshot, Mom smiling, eyes twinkling, us caught in that perfect moment. The scent of rain outside mingles with the crisp digital memory. We look so happy. I remember her voice, her pride, her innocence. The cold words I'd written fade as a tremor hits inside. Do I really want to do this? Is this the price of honesty? That call from her. Missed. Her voice asking why I disappeared. The weight presses down, heavy and relentless. Am I really ready to turn away? Or is this just another chapter in a long, messy story of loyalty and love? "Some time, Mason," the advisor said, her voice warm yet professional. "Are you sure you're ready to jump back in?" I nodded, feeling a mix of excitement and anxiety. The scent of fresh coffee wafted through the air, mingling with the faint rustle of papers. This was my chance to reclaim my life, to step away from the chaos that had consumed me. "Absolutely," I replied, my voice steady. "I need this." As I signed the forms, I couldn't shake the feeling of my Linda Carter's anger still echoing in my mind. The image of her standing on my porch, face twisted in disbelief, haunted me. "Is this about money?" she had shouted, her voice cracking. But it wasn't just about money. It was about freedom. I remembered the countless nights spent juggling my job and her needs, the weight of her expectations pressing down on me like a heavy blanket. I had sacrificed so much, but at what cost? The truth was, I was tired. Tired of being the one who held everything together while my own dreams slipped away. As I left the office, the sun broke through the clouds, casting a warm glow on the pavement. I took a deep breath, inhaling the fresh scent of rain-soaked earth. It felt like a new beginning. But then my phone buzzed. A message from Ava popped up, her words a lifeline in the storm. "Hey, I'm here if you need to talk." I paused, contemplating. Would anyone truly understand the turmoil I was feeling? The struggle between loyalty and self-preservation? I decided to reach out. "Can we meet?" I typed back, my heart racing. Later that week, we sat in a cozy cafe, the aroma of baked goods filling the air. Ava listened as I poured out my heart, the tension in my chest slowly easing. "I just want my mom to be proud," I confessed, my voice barely above a whisper. "But at what cost, Mason?" she asked gently. "You can't lose yourself trying to make her happy." Her words struck a chord deep within me. I realized I had been living for her approval, but I needed to carve my own path. As I left the cafe, I felt lighter, as if a weight had been lifted. I was ready to face whatever came next, even if it meant standing up to my Linda Carter. Days turned into weeks, and I focused on my studies, immersing myself in the world of nursing. I found solace in the knowledge that I was working towards a future I could be proud of. But the silence at home was deafening. I missed the laughter, the warmth of our shared moments. Yet I knew I had to stay strong. Then, one evening, as I sat at my kitchen island, the doorbell rang again. My heart raced. Could it be her? I opened the door cautiously, and there she was, my Linda Carter, looking vulnerable and small. "Mason," she began, her voice trembling. "Can we talk?" In that moment, I felt a rush of emotions, fear, hope, and a flicker of love. "Okay," I replied softly, stepping aside to let her in. As we sat down, I realized this was the moment of truth. Would we finally bridge the gap between us? Would she understand my journey? The air was thick with unspoken words, but I was ready to share my truth. "Mom, I need you to listen," I said, my voice steady. "This isn't just about money. It's about me finding my way." And as I spoke, I felt the weight of the world begin to lift, one word at a time. The room hangs heavy with silence, only the faint hum of the refrigerator breaking the stillness. Mason Taylor, the woman everyone knew as the caring, responsible hero in her story, sits at the cramped kitchen table, trembling as she unfolds a crumpled letter. Her eyes dart across the worn paper, trying to read between the lines. Outside, the city's noise drifts in. Horns, distant sirens, footsteps, life moving on, ignorant of the storm brewing inside these walls. She clutches the paper tightly, knuckles white. Her mind races, racing ahead to the secrets it might reveal. Will it shatter her? Or finally, give her the answers she's been pretending don't matter? The silence thickens. Doubt flickers. What lies beneath these words? Hope? Fear. The weight of it presses down. She's about to confront the truth, but can she face it before it changes everything forever? Time feels frozen. The only thing certain. Everything is about to shift. Heart sank. The sight of them sent a wave of anxiety crashing over me. What were they doing here? I had hoped for a few more weeks of peace, a chance to focus on my future without the weight of family drama. But there they were, my Linda Carter's proud demeanor clashing with the emotional turmoil I felt inside. As I parked, I could smell the rain in the air, a fresh scent that usually calmed me. But today, it only heightened my tension. I stepped out, bracing myself for the confrontation. "Mason," my Linda Carter called, her voice shaky yet determined. "We need to talk." I took a deep breath, feeling the leaf rustle beneath my feet, grounding me. "What's going on?" I asked, trying to keep my tone steady. Aunt Morin chimed in, her eyes darting between us. "We saw the letter you sent. You can't just cut us out like this." The words hung in the air, heavy with accusation. I felt my heart race, the pressure building. I'm not cutting anyone out. I'm just trying to find my own path. My Linda Carter's face fell, a mix of pride and unawareness clouding her expression. "But I need you, Mason. I've always needed you." The truth hit me like a punch. She was unaware of the sacrifices I was making, the emotional toll it took to support her while trying to build my own life. "Mom, I'm here for you, but I can't be your only support. I have my own dreams." The silence that followed was deafening. I could see the hurt in her eyes, the emotional weight of her expectations pressing down on both of us. As I stood there, the rain began to fall, each drop a reminder of the tears we hadn't shed. I felt the tension between us, a fragile thread that could snap at any moment. Then I remembered the video file on my laptop, the one that could expose everything. What if I played it? Would it finally reveal the truth, or would it destroy the last remnants of our relationship? The question loomed large, a cliffhanger in our story. I was teetering on the edge of a decision that could change everything. Would I risk losing my Linda Carter forever? The weight of that thought pressed down on me, leaving me breathless. In that moment, I realized I had to choose. Would I confront the truth, or would I protect the fragile bond we still had? The air was thick with unspoken words, and I knew I had to decide. Before it was too late. First instinct was to drive away, twist the key, hit the gas, disappear, but they'd seen me run. No point in dodging the inevitable. I took a deep breath, stepping out of the car slowly. The scent of rain hung thick in the air, fresh and sharp. "Sinead, my Linda Carter," called out, her voice so sweet it almost sounded fake. "We need to talk," she said, voice trembling just enough to cut. Up close, I saw the strain etched into her face. Her hair was unkempt, and she leaned heavily on her cane, like she only used it when she wanted to seem fragile. "I have nothing to say," I answered, fists clutching the keys a little tighter. Aunt Morin stepped forward, voice gentle but firm. "Your Linda Carter's struggling at CD. Her medication costs tripled. She can't see her specialists anymore. Is that what you wanted?" What I wanted? I paused, feeling the weight behind her words. Respect, appreciation, recognition for 5 years of sacrifices. I wanted a Linda Carter who didn't whisper behind my back that I was a desperate failure. Her face paled, confusion flickering. "What are you talking about?" she asked. I met her gaze. "I saw the video, Ava Johnson's live stream from the family dinner. I heard everything you said about me." A quick flash of recognition crossed her face. Then it was gone, replaced by anger. "You're twisting things out of context," she snapped. "I was just venting. Everyone does that." Aunt Morin looked lost. "Patricia, what video? What is she talking about?" I almost laughed. She hadn't told her closest allies about the live stream, probably hoping I'd never find out. "If you want," I said, voice steady, "I can show you, or don't. Doesn't change anything. I've made my choice." Her voice cracked, breaking almost. "I'm your Linda Carter. After everything I've done, how can you leave me now when I need you most?" Something inside snapped. After 5 years of silence, pent-up anger poured out. "Everything I've done for you," I echoed, voice thick. "Let me tell you what that's looked like. I put my entire life on hold, spent over $100,000 on your care." Rain began to fall, each drop a reminder of tears never shed, secrets buried deep. The space between us felt like a chasm now, and in that silence I realized it wasn't just about the video. It was about the pain neither of us wanted to face, the unspoken truth lurking behind the pride and worn expressions. Are we really that different? Is love always this complicated? Something shifted, The story, the blame, the shame, and I'm left wondering, what's next? The rain had just started, soft and cold, like the truth waiting beneath the surface. I looked at the screen, old family videos flickering in and out, and for a moment my world paused, heavy with unspoken wounds. Aunt Marine's gaze shifted from the glowing rectangle to the strained faces on either side of her. The sharp scent of rain mingled with the tension in the air. My Linda Carter's dismissive comments about my career, her pride masking layers of neglect, suddenly felt like punches in the chest. That fiery silence? It's deafening. You see, beneath the surface of family ties, there's always something lurking. Shame, resentment, unspoken sacrifices. The camera's reveal of a life I fought for, supporting her through hospital visits, medical bills, sleepless nights, was like throwing a match on dry leaves. Her words, her dismissiveness, ignited something deep. As shadows cast by the flickering light danced across our faces, I wondered, who really walked away first? Maybe it was all a twisted game of pride and pain. The air grew thick. Then suddenly, a pause. A breath. The truth spilled free. Sometimes love means walking out. Not because you want to leave, but because you're tired of pretending everyone's okay. The scent of fresh-cut grass mixes with the distant hum of a lawnmower, a reminder of simpler days. I remember the warm sun filtering through peeling paint on the porch, young Mason Taylor laughing loudly, clutching her Linda Carter Linda's hand, trying to hide the worries pounding beneath a carefree smile. Everything felt like a promise then. A quiet hope for stability, even if shadows of conflict loomed nearby. Fast forward, and that image lingers like a flickering film. Her Linda Carter's proud gaze, her own drive to support her amidst mounting health struggles. It's been a long road, balancing the weight of duty with the push for independence. There's a question that hangs heavy. How do you stand firm for those you love, even when the world judges? Mason's story isn't just about success or heartbreak. It's about carrying scars unseen, about the silent sacrifices made at every family gathering, every late night. She's worked tirelessly, building a career in real estate while supporting her mom through hospitals, endless appointments, the constant fear of losing her, and through it all, she's fought to keep her integrity intact, to be responsible, resilient, caring. The family's at a crossroads, loyalty pulling her in conflicting directions. How much can she give before she's left with nothing, and her Linda Carter, proud but fragile, unaware of how her daughter's efforts go unnoticed, seeking validation, craving love that's withheld. Sometimes it feels like love and obligation are tangled in a relentless tug-of-war. And the question remains, who really walks away first? The tears behind the scenes, the unspoken struggles, they all add layers of complexity. Mason's story isn't just about fighting for family, it's about fighting to stay true to herself. Because in the end, isn't that what all of us want? To be seen, to be valued, to hold on, without losing a piece of who we are? The scent of rain still lingers in the air, a wet, muddy smell that clings to memories. I can still see her, Linda Carter, a proud smile on her face, even as her hands trembled in the hospital bed. The sterile smell of antiseptics mixed with her favorite vanilla perfume, a paradox of strength and vulnerability. The constant beep of machines echoed like a heartbeat countdown, each tone pulling at my chest. I remember that moment, her eyes shining with unspoken pride, unaware of the storm inside me. How do you stay strong for someone who's fighting a silent battle? Late nights balancing hospital visits and client calls, wearing a brave face as the world watch, but inside, feeling like you're ripping apart. I worked hard to build everything I had, success in real estate, respect, independence. Yet none of it mattered if I couldn't keep her safe. Lately, I ask myself, how much can one person give? The family's loyalty pulls so tight, sometimes it's a wonder I don't snap. Mom, proud and unknowing, just seeking validation, craving love that feels so out of reach. Love and obligation. Are they really two sides of the same coin, or just a tug of war, leaving everyone drained, and who walks away first? The quiet tears behind closed doors, or the unspoken pain that nobody sees? Mason's story isn't just about making it or losing it. It's about fighting to stay true, even when every part of you feels like it's breaking apart. Because, in the end, isn't that what we all want? To be seen, to be valued, to hold on without losing who we really are? The stage lights cut through the quiet, and for a second, I think I hear nothing but the pounding of my own heart. I step up, gold trophy in hand, a symbol of success I fought hard to earn. The applause swells, but something cold lingers beneath. As I stand there, I lock eyes with her, my Linda Carter, watching from the back, tears streaking down her face. Her proud smile feels distant now, like a ghost I can't quite reach. In that moment, the cheers blur. The success I've chased so fiercely, was it worth this weight? The trophy is heavy, both a victory and a burden. The unspoken expectations, the sacrifices she made for me, all come crashing in like a tidal wave. She gave everything, yet she doesn't see the toll it takes on me. My heart races. How much can I hold before I break? And then I wonder, who really walks away first? Her tears, hidden behind her pride, or mine? The room continues to cheer, unaware of this quiet storm inside. I'm standing here, victorious, yet everything feels fragile. This trophy, this moment, it's just a mirror of the battle within. And somewhere in that silence, I realize, sometimes winning isn't about lifting your hand in triumph, it's about surviving the storm, holding on, and hoping maybe, just maybe, someone sees you. The kind of disappointment that cuts deep. Good news? You think this is good news? I could have lost everything, and you were off chasing trophies. Her words hung in the air, sharp and biting, like the chill of an autumn breeze. I felt the weight of her gaze, a mix of pride and accusation, and it made my heart race. Mom, I came as soon as I could, I replied, my voice steady despite the storm brewing inside me. I was at a seminar, and I— Excuses, she interrupted, her tone dripping with disdain. You always have an excuse. What about me? What about us? The tension in the room thickened, wrapping around us like a heavy fog. Uncle Patrick shifted uncomfortably in his chair, and Ava Johnson's eyes darted between us, unsure of how to navigate this minefield. I could feel the walls closing in, the shadows creeping closer, and I fought to keep my composure. Mom, I'm here now, I said, trying to bridge the chasm between us. I'm trying to balance everything, my career, my studies, and you. Balance? She scoffed, her voice rising. You think you can balance your dreams with my needs? You think I don't see how hard you're trying? But what about me? I need you here, not out there chasing some dream. The room fell silent. The only sound, the faint rustle of leaves outside, whispering secrets I couldn't grasp. I felt the tears prick at the corners of my eyes, but I blinked them away. Mom, I'm doing this for us, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. I want to make you proud. But her expression didn't soften. Instead, it hardened, and I could see the walls she had built around her heart. Proud? You think I'm proud of this? Of you running around while I'm stuck here? As the room cooled from our heated exchange, a faint creak echoed through the hallway outside. Shadows danced ominously on the walls, and my pulse quickened. Was that the sound of an approaching figure, or just the house settling? My shoulders tensed, eyes darting toward the door, heart pounding with a cocktail of hope and dread. The silence hung heavy, broken only by a whisper that seemed to seep from the darkness. Did she really see everything? Or is there more beneath the surface waiting to be uncovered? In that moment, I realized this wasn't just about me. It was about the love and obligation that tangled us together, the unspoken pain that lingered in the air. I took a deep breath, ready to confront the truth that lay between us, hoping that maybe, just maybe, we could find a way to understand each other. The room was heavy, thick with unspoken words, like the humid air before a storm. Outside, rain lingered, smelling of wet leaves and city dust, each drop a reminder of how life can turn sudden and cold. I could still hear the faint hum of the refrigerator, just the mundane beat of our everyday chaos. But in my mind, her laugh echoed, once warm, now distant. Her eyes used to sparkle with pride when I'd succeed, but now they fogged with disappointment. The scent of her lavender perfume still clung to her, but the sweetness was gone, replaced by a bitter undertone that I couldn't shake. I felt the weight of sacrifices I'd made piling up, each moment replaying like a haunting song I couldn't escape. Did she ever see me, or was I just a shadow in her eyes? Sometimes I wondered if she even knew how hard I was trying. The unspoken chasm between us felt like a canyon. Then, flashback, a dim dining room, faint sunlight slipping through tired curtains, our voices tense. "You needed me," I whispered into the silence. "I'm here." My words felt small, but I needed her to hear it. "Balance?" she scoffed, her tone rising. "You think balancing your career and my health is easy? After everything I've been through, you care more about your success than me?" Her eyes, clouded with frustration and pain, softened for just a second, then hardened again. "And what about me? I need you, not out chasing some dream." The quiet settled again, broken only by the rustling wind outside, the kind that makes your skin crawl. My heart pounded, hope and dread in equal measure. Was that the house settling, or someone coming? I watched the door, senses taut, as shadows flickered on the walls, flickering like fears I couldn't face. Just then, a whisper, soft but persistent, crept from the darkness. Does she really see everything, or is there more underneath? I knew in that moment this was bigger than me. It was about love tangled with obligation, pain buried beneath every word. I took a deep breath, fighting to find some ounce of clarity, feeling that maybe, just maybe, we could break through. Maybe there was still a chance to understand. The scent of antiseptic mixed with the faint aroma of coffee from the nurse's station. The rhythmic beeping of monitors echoed through the sterile room, faint reminders of how fragile life really is. I stood there, feeling the weight of everything, the memories rushing in like a flood. I saw her face, proud, unaware of the battles I fought just to get here. The first time I wore my nursing uniform, her laughter filled the halls of our home, bright and genuine. But behind that glow, there was a silence, a distance I couldn't cross. Her eyes, once full of pride, now clouded with misunderstanding. Still, I pushed forward, because I had to. Supporting my Linda Carter through her health struggles, balancing every ounce of loyalty with my own dreams. That was the real fight. The room grew heavy with unspoken words, the kind that hang in the air, impossible to ignore. Flashback flares, a dim kitchen, the tense crackle of old conversations, her voice trembling but proud. "You needed me," I whispered into the quiet. "I'm here." But she shot back, dismissive. "You think your career matters more than my health? After all I've done? You're chasing a dream. Forget me?" Her frustration cut deep, making me question if she ever saw my sacrifices. Moments like these, I wondered, did she really see everything I was fighting for, or was I just a shadow to her? The silence settled thick, broken only by the whisper of the wind outside, sibilant and cold, like the truth she'd never face. Then, a flicker of resolve. I took a deep breath, feeling the pulse of hope and fear inside me. We're tangled, her pride, my responsibility. love and obligation twisting together. Could she ever see beyond her own pride? Could I? The shadows danced on the walls, flickering like doubts I couldn't shake, and in that darkness, a quiet voice echoed. Does she really see everything, or is there more beneath the surface? I realized then, it wasn't just about being a caregiver, it was about breaking free, about holding on to who I was amid the chaos, to fight for myself without losing her. Maybe, just maybe, there's space for both of us to find understanding. And maybe, somewhere in that quiet, a chance for us to heal. The phone. The sun dipped low, casting a warm, amber glow through the cluttered kitchen. Mason Taylor stood there, exhausted, eyes heavy with unspoken worries. His hands trembled slightly. Years of sacrifices, sleepless nights, balancing family loyalty with his own dreams. He had fought so hard, yet all he felt was the weight of love unacknowledged. "Mom," he finally whispered, voice trembling, "I've done everything. I've given up so much. Do you see it?" Tears shimmered in his eyes, but he stayed steady. Linda Carter looked up, pride flickering across her face, unaware of the storm brewing inside him. She paused, eyes flickering with unspoken regret. Silence, then, softly, she responded, "I just want you safe, Mason." In that moment, understanding bloomed like dawn, an unspoken apology bridging years of distance. The weight lifted, replaced by fragile hope. A quiet reconciliation, filling the air, finally free of silent struggles. Both of them, at last, seen.